everybody. Cartridge and Quarters, episode 8. No fancy intro for you guys this time. I tried to think of something clever. It did not want to come out on this occasion. Apparently, neither did anything of interest in terms of news. So, well, I guess we're just here. Myself, Adam, CSRadical, Chris, aka Jen and Chris. I guess the closest thing that we saw was, there's this whole PlayStation Premium thing that, they were starting to slowly announce games for. Unfortunately for us retro nerds, they didn't really show much there. Most of the list seemed to go more towards the extra tier. But hey, they gave us a little bit to chew on. But I thought that, hey, me and Chris are both aficionados of the history of PlayStation, so we figured we'd go through a good chunk of the PS1, PS2, and PSP library, because PS3 is kind of just mostly been always there, so that's not really a shock if things get added to it. So we thought we'd spend most of the show going over some of the stuff we'd like to see, and then just kind of give a chance rating on like whether something will be or whether it won't be. But before that, Chris.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. It's almost the weekend.
And it's a much.
Wait. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say it technically is the weekend. Don't ruin the illusion.
Sorry, it's the weekend. It's the best. I love Saturday mornings.
I say as every single time
drinking.
We're on the show, I totally forget that it's Thursday. This podcast goes up in 2 days. But hey.
Yes. I'm not actually drinking on a Saturday very early in the morning. That's.
No judging.
No judging. It's 11 o'clock somewhere.
Look. It's fine. But otherwise,
other than that, I'm good.
What you been playing recently? Since we haven't really been doing that too much.
I have been playing a very retro style game. That's not actually retro. Stardew Valley. I've been playing a lot. I've been craving the old school like Harvest Moon Story of Seasons kind of gameplay. I realized I had Stardew Valley on the Switch and on PC, but I don't have a Steam Deck yet, so I was like, hey, cool, I'll just play it on Switch. And I fell into it hard. I can't. I've had it where I'm laying in bed and I've had trouble sleeping because it's like I could be still farming right now.
It is one of those games that like you go back and play and realize, man, I miss Harvest Moon. What happened to you?
Yeah,
you used to be good.
It's not the same anymore.
It really isn't. Like once they hit the PlayStation era, it just for whatever reason they just couldn't capture it anymore. Like the original for Super Nintendo was fine, but 64 I think is where it was at its best.
Yeah, like you could tell the Super Nintendo one, they were like trying something new and they're trying to figure it out. They did pretty good with it, put it on the N64, and it was like, this is perfection. This is exactly what this needs to be.
And then let's never do it again.
Yeah, and just like, they're like, well, we have to keep innovating. It's like, no, guys could have just kept that.
They suffered from Final Fantasy syndrome.
Yeah, true.
Except Final Fantasy at least had, a collection of games that were perfect. Before they started screwing up, Harvest Moon was like, all right, we got it right once. Let's now completely screw with it for the next 20 years.
Yeah. And it's funny because Stardew Valley plays a lot of homage to the original Harvest Moon and that era of gaming. One of the girls that you can marry, Abigail, in the game, she has a Super Nintendo in her room. And actually one of her heart events that happens is you actually play Super Nintendo with her, and there's a poster above her TV, even though it's supposed to take place like now, Super Nintendo, and a Chrono Trigger poster on the wall.
So in other words, like, you clearly married Abigail.
I did not. I ended up marrying a girl that I knew would water my plants every couple days, because that's the thing I hate the most. So I didn't marry for love, Adam. I did not marry for love.
Oh, man. I'm so disappointed in you, but at the same time, it's funny, so I don't even care anymore.
I've also found out in that game that you can actually date all of the girls. You can date girls, guys, like it's very open-ended to how you want to play it. But if you choose to go with dating girls, and you actually date all of them and get them at max hearts, there's actually a intervention moment where all of the girls corner you and you lose like hearts in all of them because they realize that you've been dating all of them. I want that so much, but I'm like already married with a second kid on the way. So
yeah, it seems like a lot of games are learning that that's a fun way to go about it. Like Witcher did it. Trails of Cold Steel, I believe, does. I know Persona 5 definitely does.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So,
I should have gone that route.
Look, in the end, you're either a pimp or you're a sweetheart. There's no in between. You can't just do like, oh, I'm gonna date 3 out of the 5. No, 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 no. You can't
Yeah.
stop.
No. No, and there's 12. Like if you go for like both the guys and the girls, you can get 12 people going at once. It's a lot of gifts. It's a lot.
Look. You got a lot of stamina and it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing that. What about you?
Mostly Destiny at this point, just to kind of get back into that. I finally got into a point where if I wanted to, with the friends that I still keep up with that play, I could finally get back into raiding if I wanted to. So that'd be something I'm excited to try out again. Because it's been like, I want to say like almost 2 years since I've done anything in that game. So to be at a point now where it's like kind of back in the swing of things, it's nice. But on the other side, like I'm honestly waiting until all of our plays to bring it back to where we were going to go in the show. I'm kind of just waiting to see when Extra and Premium come out so I can start taking a look at what's to go there. Because right now, like discussing it with Kaylan on Wednesday's episode, there are already a couple of games in the Extra tier I'm curious about. Like Demon Souls is finally going to be able to be free. Returnal. There was one other that I'm just blanking off the top of my head, but there's like Death Stranding. There's like 3 things already that I'm pretty excited to play. And the premium now is leading to the opportunity of playing a bunch of old games that I either haven't played in forever or things that I maybe never got to try to, which is another big part of it. So, I think obviously with not being too much in the fact that they popped up a small list, I figured this is the perfect time to go into that and kind of take a sense of, what we see as it stands right now and then what we're looking forward to still to this point. So I might as well start off with what they gave out. So this is directly from PlayStation. So they had a bunch of little categories with it. I'm not going to be doing the PS3 stuff again because most of that stuff has always been on the store. So that's not really that new. But This is directly from them. So original PlayStation and PSP, they list from their own partners. They have Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, and Super Stardust Portable. And then from the third-party partners, Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, and 2 Worms games, that being World Party and Armageddon. And that's all they've shown in terms of just straight up, like, just ports. Just porting it onto the system. A couple are interesting, I guess. Like, Ape Escape is not surprising. Hot Shots Golf, not surprising. Siphon Filter is just nice to see Siphon Filter anywhere.
Yeah,
That's always nice.
There's been no way to play that game for so long.
And I mean, a Tekken game is nice, so not too bad. And then when you get into the remasters, it's where you get a couple more interesting things. You get into things, well, the full list again. Ape Escape 2, Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits, Dark Cloud 1 and 2, which I've never finished either, but I love both of them. It's those are the games that, like, they're always the few games in your childhood that, like, you like a lot, but you just, for some reason, never finish. Those are the 2 games that I'm like, man, I really should go back and actually try to finish them.
Yeah,
but every time I do, I always kind of go, oh yeah, I forget. These games are kind of archaic. It's kind of a little bit sticky on the controls. It's a little bit harder to.
Yeah, true. Also, yeah, I feel like there'll be a bunch of those for me. I'm going to play a lot of games. I don't know if I'll finish a lot of games.
Yeah, there might be a lot of just like nostalgia routing, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, to keep things going, Fantavision Hot Shots Tennis, which I even forgot was a thing.
I did too.
It wasn't just Mario that did multiple sports.
Yeah.
Where was my Hot Shots hockey, guys? It's literally in the name. It would have been perfect.
Hot Shots Part 2.
And then we have Jack, 4 different things from Jack. So Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing, and Jack and Daxter the Precursor Legacy, which I don't even remember what that one is.
I don't know that one at all.
Rogue Galaxy, which I actually have physically still to this day. That's a very, very good classic game. Siren, which I will not play because fuck horror games.
Yeah.
And Wild Arms 3. And for the third party, Bioshock Remastered, Borderlands The Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and the Lego Harry Potter Collection. So mostly stuff that's just been redone over and over. Like, they're mostly just reporting stuff, which is fine, whatever. It's more games for free. But that's it. That's all they've shown. And I mentioned it on Wednesday's show. I'm not nervous yet, but I am like in a place of like I'm optimistic for extra, but premium I'm kind of getting a little bit like not excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like you figured they would have at least popped like something in there that would have made me go, oh shit, that's in there.
Like Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, like Legend Dragoon, somehow like a Metal Gear Solid game, like anything like that would have made us go, ooh, okay. Not even a Square thing either, which is also interesting. I mean, the fact that the only JRPGs that are on this list so far are Wild Arms 3 and Rogue Galaxy, which, don't get me wrong, are two good choices, but nothing else? I mean, I guess you can kind of count Dark Cloud, but like when we're talking JRPGs, we're talking turn-based stuff. So
yeah, turn-based, yeah, for sure. Back then, definitely.
Actually, kind of think Rogue Galaxy isn't turn-based either, so I have to include Dark Cloud. Never mind. Never mind. I forgot Rogue Galaxy is literally made by the Dark Cloud guys, so...
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever played Rogue Galaxy.
Yeah, it's basically like taking a little more of an anime approach with level 5 games, where it's like half JRPG and then half like almost like a third person like Zelda-ish kind of deal in terms of the combat.
I might have to actually have a look at that one.
Yeah, they're all three of those games, like Dark Cloud 1 and 2 and Rogue Galaxy, are all pretty good games in their own right. So those are all interesting things. But like in your case so far, like you've seen that list, and obviously I just said it back, like this isn't really that impressive, is it?
It's not overly impressive yet, no. And a part of me, I mean, this could go one of two ways. One, this is kind of what the launch is, and then they're going to start adding to it. And then immediately I'm starting to get like Nintendo worries here. Or two, this is just like a very small sneak peek, and then there's like a whole bunch more for some reason they're not showing us yet. My worry is the second one isn't happening because why would they hold back the good games now when you're trying to get people hyped for it, right? Realistically, I have a feeling it's possible they're just still working with third-party developers and getting like the actual ports over. Because if it's a game that wasn't on PS Now or whatever before, they've got to get them on there, get them tested, make sure they actually work properly. Because you don't want to have it launch day. They put the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games, and then you go and play the first one, and it goes insert disc 2, and then it just freezes on you because there is no disc 2, right? Like they've got to kind of figure out probably what to do with some of them, I imagine. Also with third party, they've got to figure out like, okay, you know, yeah, sure, we'll let you put your game on your PlayStation Plus service, but you know, what's our take? Like, how are you compensating for us? Because Game Pass and everything, all of them have had to have this figured out and started to work through this. And when it's a brand new service, that's the same thing they're probably doing. So maybe this is just as far as they've gotten, and every day they're working. Like, hey, put out this list now, see what people are feeling. And then, you know, if it's not very great, like we're going to keep working with third party. We'll have more by launch, and we'll keep adding as we get them. We'll post them on the PlayStation blog. It really could be anywhere. But if this list is all it is, yes, it's a little disappointing.
Well, we know that there's going to be more because they did say at launch it should be around 300 something games. So unless like they suddenly realized, oh crap, we actually can't get all of this ready in time. Because I mean, when you think about it, like even if you count the PS3 games that they listed, we aren't even a third of the way into the list yet. If that's what's going to be launching, so
yeah,
there is definitely a lot to still go. And you know, I am at that point that because I don't think they really listed. There's not a lot of PlayStation originals, and even I think the PSP only had one game so far. So like, it's definitely in a spot where it's definitely at a point of, okay, guys, like if you want people to pay this extra price, you got to give them something. And no offense, like don't get me wrong, like the list isn't bad, but it's not enough to suddenly make you want to pull a monthly trigger. It isn't going to do that. You really do need. I'm surprised that, like I said, like they didn't put at least like one really major game, like even if it was like a Final Fantasy, you know, anthology, or if it was a Chrono Cross, even though there is the remaster, but I imagine Square wouldn't want that to happen because they want you to buy the new one.
Yeah.
But like even something like going off the board a little bit and pulling out like a Suikoden, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Suikoden. Oh, that would be so good.
But then going off the board too, again, Metal Gear Solid, big one. You can go into, I'm imagining that, you know, Resident Evil 4 would be a hard one to get, but that would be a good one to plop in there. So there's a lot of things that like you could throw out there that could at least get attention, and none of these honestly do it. Despite, you know, I do like some of the games listed.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely do. Like I saw Hot Shots Tennis and Hot Shots Golf, and I've been also playing a little bit sometimes lately. Everybody's Golf. I picked it up on PS5, which is funny because it's also on the list in the new games, like the PS4 level one. So I was like, cool, great.
Yeah, by the way, if anybody's watching this before the event starts, like there's a current thing that's like remasters and retro on the sale right now. don't be fooled. Don't touch any of that shit because you don't know what's possibly going to be in the literal tiers in the next like month. So
yeah. Don't. I shouldn't have bought Everybody's Golf. Like, I'm not that upset. It was $10, and I plan on.
Yeah.
This is like a game you have forever. But I it's got me really nostalgic for the original Hot Shots Golf because I put in Hot Shots Golf 1 and 2. I must have put hundreds of hours in each, and to go back and actually play those because the new one. I mean, compared to the old ones, I actually would probably prefer playing the old ones right now over the new one. And
Yeah,
I
like,
don't have the option.
I think even the same goes for like say Mario Golf. Like I've played the new one and it's good, but like I don't know, it doesn't have the same charm anymore.
No, they've somehow lost the charm. I
Like
don't know
for
what
example,
it is.
like
They feel empty.
whenever you remember when you used to get like double bogeys and there'd be like the funny animations that they do where they're just like over exaggerate. They don't really do that. It's more of just a
Yeah, even with Everybody's Golf, it's just not. No, they don't have a lot of the animations anymore. The like quirkiness, I guess, of the characters and everything. Like you make your own character and that's it. Like you don't actually get to select what character you're going to play. You have a character you've made, but you can alter their clothing and the way they look and all that kind of stuff. So the older games, I just liked it better. It's like choose one of these quirky characters. They've all got their strengths and weaknesses, but they're also kind of funny. They're over the top, and like they're when they get a bogey and when all this other stuff happens, like they've made it like cartoonish. And I miss that, and I would love to go back. I saw that list, and I was like, well, I know where I'm going. I know the first game I'm going to install and play Hot Shots Golf 1, and probably Hot Shots Tennis too.
Yeah. So with that being said, obviously there are still a lot of space for games that we hope to see. So I figured what we would do is we'd go into the best way I can try to find lists, which unfortunately was Metacritic. I was hoping for a better option, but Metacritic seemed to be the best option. So I want to go through each of the three consoles that I said earlier, PS1, 2, and PlayStation Portable, and just kind of go through a bit of the lists of each of these lists and kind of give like a rough idea. So we're not going to say like yes or no. It's going to be this is how we're deciding. So if I give you a game, I want you to tell me if you think it will be or you think it should be. Because should be entails that you think it won't be.
Okay.
So if you say it will be, you think it's actually going to be in there. And if you say it should be, it's a game that you want there, but you know it won't.
Like eventually or at launch?
Well, at launch, yeah.
Okay.
And then if you straight up say you either don't know or you don't want it, then we can do that too. But I think for the most case, these are like the top 25
These are going to be the top games.
These are going to be like games that were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we're starting with PlayStation 1. So I'll skip like copies as we go, but like let's say as we start here, I'm surprised this is the highest rated game on PS1. You'd think with some of the other choices on there there'd be others, but at a 98 on Metacritic, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Oh.
So you figure I would say like has to be on there. It's just a matter of will it. Because again, the whole challenge is going to be rights. That's always going to be the thing. And with Tony Hawk, here's the difference and here's the reason that I say should be, but it won't be. The music. Yeah,
it's that. And they've seemed to take like these new remasters from like PS4 era, and they've included them in this tier because it's like old games, but they've been remastered. Tony Hawk also had 1 and 2 remastered in a collection. And I have a feeling any rights they would get, they'd probably get that new remaster put alongside like the Borderlands Handsome collection, and I can't remember the other collection that was listed.
The BioShock collection, I think.
BioShock remastered. I have a feeling they'd grab that one and put it in, which is kind of sad because it is music with the old one that's not in the new one that people are gonna love, right? And we're gonna probably I'm gonna say should be. I don't think it'll be there because I think they would grab the remaster instead.
Yeah. I mean, you can't always get Power Man 5000 into everything, you know?
But you should be able to.
I think Tekken 3, which is the next one, I think it's a similar situation because Tekken 2 is already there.
Yeah.
I think it should be. I don't think it will be at launch.
Oh, right. We're talking about at launch? No, I think it should be. I think that's one that's going to come in like 3 to 6 months.
Yeah,
they're going to let everybody play Tekken 2 for a while, and then they'll throw the third one in. Kind of makes sense. Like, even if there was, say, Final Fantasy 7 in there or something, it's not, but say it was, they probably wouldn't do like 8, 9, 10. Like they probably wouldn't put all of them. They would slowly release one at a time to kind of keep everybody hyped about the service.
Yeah. Next up would be Gran Turismo. I think it will be. It has to be.
It will be.
Like the original Gran Turismo absolutely has to be.
Yeah, if it's not in there, there's some sort of a rights issue they haven't figured out yet. There's no reason it wouldn't be there. It has to. Will.
The first Final Fantasy game on the list, Final Fantasy 9.
9?
I think it will be.
You think it will be?
Here's my reason. You get this out now, it possibly gets in the hands of new players because, again, remember a while back with I think it was the NVIDIA leak that a 9 remake was rumored.
Oh, that's smart. Okay,
so
yeah,
if we
you just
assume
changed my
that's
answer.
True. Again, we're also going with like assuming that rumor was actually a thing. That if there's any game that you would put in first, I think that would be the one.
Yeah.
Out of any of the PlayStation games, I would put that one in there.
I think will be. Also, because I think Final Fantasy 9, it was re-released, and I think it was on PS Now for a little while.
I know it, yeah. I think all of them in some shape or form are.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would assume that all 3 of them should be, but that's never necessarily a guarantee.
Yeah, I would say will be. Yeah, you know what? If that remake is true and they want to get the hype up, that's the perfect way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Next up would be Chrono Cross, which I think is a should be and won't be because Square hates their customer base, so I doubt that they would allow it.
It should be, but because they just released that remaster, which is also on PlayStation, they don't want to give everybody the old one that runs
because the old one's the good one apparently at this point.
Yeah. We it should be, but it won't.
This is probably the most interesting one. Metal Gear Solid.
This one is tough. And I think this is only tough because of all the rights. Like, Kojima is not a part of Konami, but I think they still own the rights, obviously, for Metal Gear. And I don't know. Also, they seem to not really like Metal Gear right now. They're kind of pulling a square where like they're forgetting where they came from, kind of. Well, not where they came from, but
oh no, they know where they came from. They just don't like it because Kojima is the reason that's where it came from.
Yeah. So I think, that one's tough. I really want it to be, and it feels like it's connect. You know what? I'm gonna say will be, and the reason I will is because there was that PlayStation Classic, that PS1 Classic that came out and like kind of failed. I'm pretty sure Metal Gear Solid 1 was on that, and if they can get it for that, I feel like they would get it for this service because this is basically that PlayStation Classic put into a subscription service.
So let's see here as I quickly check the list. Yes, it was.
Yes. So I'm going to say will be for that one based on that.
Okay. I'm still in the should be camp only because I'm not quite ready to say that it will be, only because I feel like unless Sony comes out and is like saying we're going to have a big showcase soon, it's not really a big announcement. And I feel like Metal Gear Solid would be a big one because they could also announce it alongside of a remake.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Imagine that. Holy shit.
So I'm in the camp of like, should be. It probably will eventually be. I'm not sure if it's a launch, though.
Okay.
We're going to skip over Gran Turismo 2 because we've already done one of them.
Yeah,
Street Fighter Alpha 3. So let's just do like the Alpha games in general.
Oh.
I think one of them will be.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure which one will be, but I think one of them will be. Because if you're going to have like a Tekken, you're obviously going to see like Street Fighter and stuff. It was huge at the time. So yeah, I think
I'm
one
pretty
of
sure
them
like there's a good relationship with Capcom, so I can't see there being that much of an issue.
Yeah, Capcom also seems to be in like a really good standing with its players and like doing good things, I think. And it seems like there wouldn't be much of a hassle for them to put some classic game that they're not currently making money on anyway, so why not get a little bit more of an income stream off an old game?
Yeah, for sure.
They seem like the type right now that's what their mindset would be.
And then back to Konami. This one better be Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, that one, like, hard should be at least. Oh, will it?
I think that one will.
Yeah.
That one is one that I look at me and like, you can't ignore that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say will be. They already have the Symphony of the Night game that like they made some like collection on PlayStation that you can get off the store. I don't see that getting in the way of them putting the original on this service. You're either gonna do one or the other, so you might as well just get your income revenue from one or the other. I'm gonna be optimistic and say will be for that one.
Mm-hmm. Wipeout XL, if you guys remember that game, which anti-gravity racing. I think that's like, I would say will be on that one because it is like a popular game from that age, and I think it's one that probably wouldn't take a lot out to get.
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna say will be for that one. I'm not sure if there was multiple Wipeout games, so I'm not sure which exactly would be out there, but definitely one of the Wipeout games.
Yeah, and I think we've seen them on the store before too, so it wouldn't be that out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, absolutely.
Here is the first one that I think I'm going to have a different answer for. Vagrant Story, I think will never be.
Oh.
I think it's too far out there that I don't know if they get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I think there's a new Vagrant Story that Square is making. I think. I'm thinking of like some showcase that was either for a PlayStation or Nintendo.
I was also surprised to see this so highly rated. Like, it's 11th on Met. Like, I mean, it's in a massive tie of 92s, but still.
That's crazy that's rated that high. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve it. It's just because it's a slight, I don't know, maybe a niche.
Like, how many people do you think have actually heard of it? Even like hardcore JRPG is like, sometimes there are games like that just never get through because you maybe don't see them in stores. Because again, it wasn't 100%. Widely printed like, say, a Final Fantasy was.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it felt like at the time a Square side project unless you were a hardcore JRPG fan. That one I'll say should be. I don't think it'll be there at launch.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Next one that is different. We have Final Fantasy VII, which I think that is also tough. I think it will. I think that if again, I'm already like putting out a bit of a throw out there for 9. I think 7 almost has to be.
It definitely needs to be at some point.
Even if you're Square, like you're sitting there being like, well, we also could just throw the remake in, but fans are also gonna be like, yeah, but the original, guys, come on.
I'm going to say will be, using the same reasoning for Metal Gear Solid, because that PlayStation Classic had Final Fantasy VII on it.
That was kind of similar thinking too, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to say will be. I'm gonna have high hopes and say will be.
The original Medal of Honor. I think that is probably a no, and if anything, like a should be at best.
Should be. Yeah, that one's a should be. Should be.
Yeah, I can't really see that one being on there amidst everything else.
No, unfortunately not.
What I can see is Parappa the Rapper. That is a will be.
Oh, that is a will be.
There's even a question.
Yeah, that's not even a question. That's a PlayStation 1 like staple, and I'm pretty sure that was a Sony first party game, or at least they had the rights to it.
I believe it was, yeah.
Because Parappa was in that weird Smash Brothers PlayStation game that had all the first party PlayStation characters in it. So, yeah. Got it. Will be.
Spyro Year of the Dragon. So here, I think they might put a Spyro game on, but there is also the collection to think about too.
Yeah, so that's where I feel like the remastered collection might end up going in instead of the original game.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them doing that.
But in terms of like just Spyro in general, I think should be. It's just they probably like we said, yeah, it'll just be a case of they'll throw the remastering in before that.
Yeah, is it going to be the remaster or is it going to be the original one?
Yeah. Tomb Raider, will be.
Oh, Tomb Raider
original,
will
yeah.
Be. Oh yeah, will be.
Not even a question.
It's not even like there's a proper. Well, I guess there was a remaster of it at some point, but I don't even remember what system that was.
Now here's the interesting question though. It's no longer Square's choice anymore.
Yeah.
It's now Embracer's choice.
Oh, so will be, because Square would have been the main hurdle there.
But also that, like, if you want to talk about starting a good relationship with a company, like, there's a great time to start it. Just being like, hey, like, how much you want for us just to use, like, the old code of this game in here?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Resident Evil, I would say if I would say at least the first one will go in.
I'll say will for that one. Will be.
It's just a matter of like the others. I think you guarantee 1, and then you can kind of maybe work on 2 and 3 down the line.
Yeah, I don't think they would release all 3 at the same time. I don't think they will for any series like that. I think we'll get the first one at launch, and then they'll slowly trickle in the other ones to keep the hype going for the service.
And then, as I'm scrolling here, I'm just trying to find like one more interesting one potentially, because a lot of it's copies at this point. Okay, here's a good one. The original Spider-Man on PlayStation.
Oh, that's a tough one. Sony has the rights for Spider-Man now. I don't think they have the rights for the old one. That's, I think, Activision. Which
Yeah,
is going
I think
through
that's the interesting part. I believe Activision may own the rights to that specific game.
yeah, and they're being bought by Microsoft, but they haven't actually done that yet. Oh,
I like, as much as like that would be a cool thing to see, I think that has to be a no, because I don't think they can even get it if they wanted to.
yeah. Then again, who knows? Maybe once Xbox or Microsoft takes over, they'll be like, yeah, screw it. It's not like we're going to put that on our Xbox. Can't put PS1 games on here. We don't have that functionality.
All right, I'm hitting 50, so I got 3 more to go. Two that would be pretty fun, and then one that I think would be a pretty interesting rare one, like if you're going way off the board. Silent Hill, I think will be.
Will be.
Because I actually believe the rumors that there will be a Silent Hill game on PlayStation first party.
Oh, yeah.
That is a rumor that's been going around, and I think that actually has probably got some credence to it. So I would say Silent Hill will be. Okay. The other potential one, Dino Crisis, I would also say... I'll say will be. Honestly, will be.
I'm going to say should be, only because it seems like that game is just never coming back.
Well, I'm going to say will be, because I think it would be a great way for Capcom to gauge the interest again.
It would be. It really would. I don't know. I feel like the series is cursed and it's just not allowed to come back.
You're just too hurt.
I'm hurt.
And then here's the last one that would be interesting. This is way off the board. Lunar Silver Star Story.
I loved that game so much. If that came back, I would subscribe for a year instantly. Like, I can't... That and Legend of Dragoon would be my two most played, and I'd be so excited. I'd be so excited.
Yeah, because there's like so much. I mean, I guess before that, I would say should be. I think that would be one of those shockers if they threw it in there.
Yeah, if it was in there, I would be very, very shocked. So for me, it's a should be.
So to cap off PS1, then, is there anything you can think of that were like major ones? Because off the top of my head right now, like we just said, Legend of Dragoon, Xenogears would be a big one because I've never actually played Xenogears.
You haven't? Oh my gosh, that honestly, if there was
Final Fantasy Tactics, those are 2 games that I cannot believe I've never played.
Wait, you've never played Tactics?
No, I never, because there were a lot of games that like I never caught in rental stores back in the day, and obviously I didn't have any real buying power, and I've never really thought about doing it later on because, well, by then there's too many games to think about.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's Tactics, Xenogears, Lunar Star, and Legend of Dragoon. Those are the 4 PS1 games I would start up. That with also Breath of Fire 3 and 4.
Yeah, I was going to say Breath of Fire, Suikoden as well. I keep scrolling down. Suikoden. Parasite Eve, I'd love to actually try because I never took a look at that.
I would like to try that again because I wussed out 3 separate occasions. I rented it 3 times. First time I lasted 10 minutes.
Star Ocean the Second Story, I've also never played. I actually think I still own the PSP version of it, so maybe that I should just do that, but that would also make me have to use my PSP.
Well, we were going to play a lot of JRPGs on this service if they come.
Well, of course, because that's what we were back then.
That's true.
As I keep scrolling, Dragon Warrior 7, which I never got to play because I didn't even realize what that was back in the day.
Yep.
And of course, Mega Man Legends 2, which, yeah, sure, give me an excuse to play that game again. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll play through those.
So, yeah, that's PlayStation. So PS2 we'll kind of run through a little bit quicker. We already saw, again, Tony Hawk tops the list. Tony Hawk 3 is actually the top list, which is funny. Grand Theft Auto in general, do you think any of them will be in the initial?
Should be, but won't. And my reasoning is this. They keep adding like Grand Theft Auto 5 or these definitive editions to Game Pass or PS Now, but they're the only games that have been added to both services that are only on there for 3 months before taking off. Like, you can't... It's so weird that to put like Grand Theft Auto 5 or anything like that, they go on a service that they're 3 months, and Rockstar is like real greedy with how long they're on these kind of services. I just feel like Rockstar isn't going to allow it.
I'll say will. I say they'll put one of them on there as a gesture of goodwill after the collection collapsed. I mean, they already are on PS4 as well, so... Because I think all of them are on because of the PS2 and PS4 system, so it wouldn't be that much of an issue to do.
Yeah, technology, like tech-wise, yeah, no, I don't think it'd be too bad.
Let's see, we talked about it earlier. Resident Evil 4, I think should be, but I would be shocked if Resident Evil 4 was on there.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Resident Evil 4 was on there at launch. Because I feel like they would just put the first one and then, again, take a year to put the next 4 of them out there to keep the hype up.
We discussed Metal Gear Solid, but either of the other PlayStation 2 games, do you think there would be a chance at any of those, since we already said the first one probably will?
I think they will be. I just don't think that they would do all of the franchise at launch. I feel like they would just do the first and then work their way to the others.
Interestingly, I think Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec might actually, even if the original is on there, because A-Spec was probably their best one until, for a long time.
Yeah.
So I feel like they might do multiple ones. Because again, like,
yeah,
I know a lot of people probably think, well, you got one on there, why would you do any more? I'm like, well, yeah, but it's a different generation of console.
Yeah, they're two very different games. It's like saying, why would you buy Gran Turismo now on PS5 if you still have the PS1 copy?
Yeah.
It's different.
Devil May Cry.
Ooh, so I think that is a will be launch. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say will be.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool thing to see. And because it's still, like, it's not, like, a name that's passed us by. Like, there was a recently, like, decent edition that they brought back, I think a couple of years ago it came out.
Yep.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility to see the original come in. That would be cool. I'm skipping a few Madden and football games because I don't care. Not because I don't want to talk about it, just because I don't care. God of War, I would say I'd be shocked if any of them weren't.
Yeah, will be. And when it comes to the Sony first party like that, maybe I could.
There might be some that aren't there at launch, like maybe Chains of Olympus on the PSP isn't, but
yeah, they'll eventually all of them will be.
Yeah, they'll all be there.
Yeah, so they'll start. Definitely, the first one will be.
Virtua Fighter 4. Do you think a Virtua Fighter game in general?
I think a Virtua Fighter game. You know what? Will be.
Yeah, I would say will be just in some aspect. Here's a big one that both of us would love to see anywhere. Any of them, in fact. Burnout. Any sort of Burnout game.
Oh, will be.
Specifically, I would want 3 Takedown. That was probably the best one.
That is probably the best one.
But again, it's always the music. That's always the key.
Oh, true. All right. No, I think will be. I think one of them will be. Not sure which one, but one of them for sure will be.
Speaking of music, SSX Tricky.
Oh.
That one. See, I'll create a new tier. Better fucking be.
It better be, yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
If I had to guess, I would say should be, but I don't think it will.
Yeah. I could see that. What was that other series? Cool Borders or something like that?
Yeah, Cool Borders. That was PlayStation.
I could see that series being on there.
Okami?
Oh, because there's that HD remake that came out on like PS3 and is still going today. I could see them putting the remastered HD version.
I could see in some aspect. In this specific case on the premium tier, should be, but maybe not.
Yeah, if they added it, would just be Okami HD.
Soul Calibur 2. Now 6 is in the extra tier. Or Soul Calibur in general. Like, it could be even like the original. It could be Soul Blade. Well, I doubt it'd be Soul Blade.
No, I doubt it'd be Soul Blade, but I would
Soul
say
Calibur 2 would probably be like the best case scenario.
I would say will be. You know what? I'm going to be hopeful and say will be.
All right, here comes my joke. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. No, because they can't even get the remake ready.
Yeah, no. I don't know. It won't be.
If I had to guess,
Ubisoft.
Actually, you know what? Because they have a bit of a relationship with Ubisoft with having the classics on there, I say will be.
Yeah. Yeah? Oh, right, because their classics is actually all newer games. Yeah, so you know what? I'll say will be.
And then we get into a couple of Final Fantasies, 12 and 10. I think 10 and 10-2 will be on the remaster as extra. I don't think they'll be in its original form. 12? Actually, you know what? I'd say no for either, because I think they could put Zodiac Age in the extra tier
I think
as well.
Zodiac. Yeah, that's the thing. I think for those two specifically, they have very HD remastered versions, and that's what would end up in that tier.
Sadly, Guitar Hero will not be, because that would make no sense now. But the fact that I'm seeing those on the list makes me sad.
Yeah, like playing with a controller would not be the same, and they're not going to make a peripheral for this.
Hey, here's an off the wall one, Klonoa.
Klonoa, that has actually an HD remaster or something coming out this year. Oh crap! So which would make it on there?
I'd say will. I think it's one of those smaller ones that it's easy to add on and people won't really notice. So I think that's one of the ones you'll see just kind of like in the big list of games that are kind of forgotten.
Yeah, I definitely say will be for that one.
Twisted Metal Black. Or Twisted Metal in general.
Oh, Twisted
There's got to be at
Metal.
least one. I
Will
say
be.
will be, but just it's a matter of which one.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that one of them's on there.
Would they put the original Shadow of Colossus on, even though there is the remaster?
No, I think the remaster would end up being included. Actually, no, the remaster is included in there somewhere. It's not in the remastered
you know what
area.
it is? It already is included somewhere. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So that one's already included. They just didn't put it in this tier for some reason. They put that in the other one.
Let's see. Do you think a Dead or Alive game would be in here?
Yes. I'm going to say will be.
I agree.
Like one of them.
Yeah. Ico or Ico? I can't remember how it's pronounced. I think that has to be.
That has to be. There's no way you can have like that's again a PlayStation staple.
Ratchet, I'd say in some aspect, whether it's through the collection or whether it's through the originals, something will be on there. That's without question.
Will be. I think every single one will end up on that service at some point.
Another sad one. Any of the NBA or NHL or NFL or FIFA Street games, I think is a no.
No.
Unfortunately.
No. Should be, but
any of those would be awesome, but no. Let's see. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4. I think yes. I think 4 would be. I mean, actually, I don't know if they've done. Have they done 4 Golden? Actually, I need to check. Have they done Persona 4 Golden on PlayStation? Because I know I got the Steam release.
It's on Steam, and I think that's it.
Yeah, it's still not a thing. Now, apparently there were rumors that it could. Apparently there are rumors about it being on PlayStation and Switch this year. There were rumors about it. So.
I would imagine it would release on PlayStation and Switch. There's no way.
I don't think they would put 4 on. We'll get when we get to the PSP version. I'll talk about the other case scenario of that game. But yeah, you know what? I think 4 won't be because if anything, they would just put 4 Golden as a release.
Yeah, I think 4 Golden will eventually end up on the service. I think that's the way it'll end up going.
Time Splitters 2 better fucking be. But in terms of guessing, actually, you know what? I say will. I think one of them will be.
You know what I want to put out in the universe? It will. There's no way it won't, and you and me will play together.
Absolutely. Also, the fact that apparently they might be making a new one makes me happy too, which I love. All right, as I keep scrolling now, I'm just like quickly rolling stuff. Dragon Quest 8, I think will be.
Will be.
Because it's basically always in every collection when they show stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the Need for Speed games would be?
I would say one will be. Yeah, one of them has to, I feel.
I think it's a should. I don't think it's a guarantee at launch. I think one of them eventually could be, but I don't know if it'd be right away.
Yeah, I could see that.
Ace Combat. I would say one of them will be.
Oh, will be.
Matter of which one, but one of them will be. Let's see here. As I keep scrolling, it's a lot of sports games now.
Yeah, that was when they started to get real.
Red Faction.
Oh. I want it to. I don't know if it'll be there at launch. I think it'll be there eventually.
I think the original will be. I think it will. I think they'll squeak that one in there.
Okay.
Sly Cooper, I think in some aspect, whether it's in the extra tier as a package or because I think isn't there a Thieves Collection? I think.
Yeah, that's on PS3, and I think that might actually be.
It might actually be a part of it. Yeah, no.
It's part of it, I think, under the PS3 area.
Now we get to a fun one because a lot of fans keep asking for a new one. Do you think a SOCOM game would be in?
Oh. Will be. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I'll say that. And then the last things that I see here, Kingdom Hearts, I say no because, again, they have their big package.
They have the big packages, yeah.
Bully, that would be interesting, but I think should be maybe someday, but I don't know right away.
I feel like it'll be someday when they announce like they're making a new Bully game, and then they'll put that one on the service to kind of get the hype up.
And then just because it's at the bottom at 100 as I finish off the first page on Metacritic, Guilty Gear X2, which I hope does, because I think people need to see how awesome Guilty Gear is. I'll say yes to that any day of the week.
I'll say will be because I want to make you happy.
Perfect. Last but not least, PSP. This is probably going to go by a lot quicker because most of us probably... Did you even really play a lot of PSP games? Because I didn't do much.
I did not even have a PSP at all. So... I don't think I've played a single one.
Oh, I didn't even think. What PS2 games would you like to see? Because I completely forgot about that.
I mean,
I know you mentioned Rowdy Out of Stories.
Radiata Stories is my number one. I've had a craving to play that game for about 15 years, and there's no, like, besides emulating it, I have no good way of doing it. So I'm going to say Radiata Stories number one, and then the Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3. Would love that on there.
I would love for the hilarity of Beyond Good and Evil being in there.
Oh, Beyond a Good and Evil. Yes, yes, that would be amazing. There's so many good PS2 games, but I'm trying to think of which ones haven't already been covered or
Let's
have like
see.
a current remaster.
Do you think Midnight Club would make a comeback on here?
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna say will. I'm gonna say there's gonna be a Midnight Club on there.
I've mentioned it before. I would love to see Shadow Hearts coming on there. Obviously, we mentioned
Oh,
Suikoden
yes.
earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see. As I keep scrolling, Disgaea, maybe one Disgaea is in there somewhere because there's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, and they've remastered a lot of them or re-released them, so it would depend on which version they put out too. But I don't imagine there not being one of some type on the system, on the service.
A very interesting one that I never actually played, but I heard so many good things about, the Warriors.
Oh, I heard a lot of good things about that, and I saw it all the time at GameStop, but I've never actually picked it up and tried it myself.
Let's see. We get into a spy theme, Spy Hunter.
Spy Hunter, I think should be. I think it'll be on there at some point. I don't know if it'll be a launch title.
Do you think there'd be any chance of a Bond game getting in there? Like whether it's
Oh,
Agent Under Fire, Nightfall, or Everything or Nothing,
I would.
or even the I guess the Sean Connery one, probably not.
No, probably not that one.
I think
I
they're all
would.
should be's, but I don't think any of them would be there right away.
I think the rights for it are just too much all over the place.
And after that, the only one I can think of as I keep scrolling, to go off the board, actually two now that I think about it, Def Jam.
Def Jam. Ooh.
There's a part of me that would love to see Fight for New
Hmm.
York in there. And then the last one that I can think of would be Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, depending on which version you played.
I don't think I played either.
Because I think it's based on where they're
Oh.
named in localization.
Yeah.
Which
I
I've
don't
never
think
played. I played
I didn't either.
what was the other? Oh no, they aren't related. But I did play Dreamfall, which was another case of that. But Indigo
Oh,
Prophecy I
play
did not
Dreamfall.
play.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I definitely want to give that a go. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a shot. But yeah, moving on to PSP.
Here we go.
So we already mentioned God of War: Chains of Olympus, which we think
Yeah.
it will be at some point, but it's probably
It will
it
be.
might be a should be case just because it might not be ready.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the interesting thing. Getting PSP games on there, like the amount of work that's going to be done to try to make them not look like absolute ass on a massive television screen.
What are they, like 120p?
Yeah, it's not
like what's a PSP?
GTA Chinatown Wars, I'd say probably not. I'll say no on that one.
No, I don't think so.
This is the one I think is a will be. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 Portable, which is the definitive edition of that game. I say is a yes.
Yes,
I
because
think that's how you're going to get Persona in the premium edition.
yeah, Persona 5 was even just in the PS Plus collection. I think that there's a really good relationship there, and
Yeah, I think they
definitely
got a
have
good
that one in
relationship with Atlas.
Yeah.
I can't think of how it's pronounced. Is it Lumens or Lumines?
Oh yeah. I don't think that one will because they have a remaster of that game on current systems. So I could see them putting the remaster in instead of that edition.
Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, I think if assuming that they keep doing Metal Gear Solid games, it'll be a should be.
I think if the other Metal Gear Solid games end up in the service, this one will for sure.
Speaking of things that you hope that will be too, Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions.
That's apparently the definitive edition of Final Fantasy Tactics. So if they're going to put one on the system or service, that's the one I want.
I never noticed this in either PS1 or PS2, but do you think a Ridge Racer game would be in there? I think one of them has to be.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah.
Just for more hilarity with Tactics Ogre. Let us cling together.
I think that's a should be. I don't see it being there at launch.
Here's did you ever? Oh no, you might never heard of this. There was a game called Jeanne d'Arc.
No, I don't.
It's like Joan of Arc, like an anime, like a JRPG with a Joan of Arc theme to it.
No, I don't think I ever played that one.
I think that would be a sneaky one to throw in there, but I doubt that. There's also Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops that I forgot about.
Oh, that would come after Peace Walker, I think.
Yeah. Little Big Planet, that's an easy yes. The original,
Yes,
yeah.
That's
an easy
will
one.
be.
Patapon, similar story. I think that's an easy yes.
Yep.
Let's see here. Loco Roco, I think even Loco Roco's listed already.
I feel like I saw that on the list, so I think it's already on there. Yeah.
Puzzle Quest. Do you remember Puzzle Quest?
I loved Puzzle Quest, so I'm going to say will be because I want that in the universe so I can play it.
All right, Sony, you hear that? Better be in there.
Yeah.
As I keep going down. Oh, all right. Here's a fun one. Crisis Core. Final Fantasy VII.
I've never played that one.
I haven't either.
And I'd really like to, so I'm going to say will be based on the whole putting it in.
I love how we're just turning it into please.
Yeah, this is becoming will be means please.
Also, just to go, because I skipped them a few times, I think they'll put. Actually, you know what? No, I was about to say they might put an old MLB The Show in there, and then I realized, no, what's the point?
No, I don't see an old MLB The Show from PSP being in there.
Let's see. Yeah, it's really hard with a lot of these now because, like, when you're getting to PlayStation Portable, it's mostly games that are, like, kind of offshoots of series that they have. Like, there's a Resistance Retribution. Oh, yeah, Resistance is mostly PS3, that's why.
Yeah, that was mostly PS3, yeah.
Yeah, there's not, honestly, as I keep scrolling here, I'm like, a lot of this is stuff that, like, it's hard to say. And also, neither of us have played nearly as much, so it's not nearly as easy for us to tell. The only other thing I can think of is, like, there's a lot of Japanese stuff, like Ys, the Ultimate Felghana would make sense to put, like, one of those in there.
I would see one of those, yeah.
There's also a lot of, like, small ones that people don't know about. Like, Legends of Heroes Trails in the Sky is actually on PSP.
Oh, true. But, of course, it's been re-released.
There's also, like, there's the Lunar games. There's Valkyrie Profile. Gitaru Man, which was an interesting, like, weird game that was like Parappa the Rappa kind of deal back in those days. And then there's also like, as a small, like, I hope it does, there's a game called 30-Minute Hero that is a really interesting, like, JRPG that's just about, like, doing, like, these small increments.
Yeah.
And I think would be a cool addition. PSP is the hardest one to judge by, though, because so much of it's, like, almost in the unknown.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely, yeah, it's really hard to judge that one.
Because PlayStation Portable was like, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of people just use that thing as a jailbreak system.
Yes. Yeah.
You modded the crap out of that thing usually. I know friends that were playing Chrono Cross on that thing, and I was super jealous.
I mean, that's the thing. When you take that or a Vita or something, were like, especially at the time, the definitive JRPG experience, because nothing's better with a JRPG than being able to take it on the go when you got to grind out levels and you can just do it wherever instead of being confined to one sitting position in front of a couch.
So, to cap this whole conversation off, I got one simple question. Give me 5 games that we did not see in that initial list that you would have to see in order to think that they're taking this tier seriously.
Ooh, taking it seriously. All right, well, I would definitely have to see Metal Gear Solid. If that's not on there, like something from that series to start, like that, because that goes hand in hand with those systems.
Yeah.
Definitely the first. I want to just put this all in one kind of grouping because to break it out by franchise would not really make sense for this. But like first party titles, like the God of Wars, the Resistance for the PS3 era, the Parappa the Rapper, if that is a Sony property. Like Ratchet, Jack and Daxter, all of that kind of stuff. Like all of those first party titles or franchises, they should at least have the first game from all of those series on there. Because then you'd see it and you'd be like, okay, yeah, they're going to add the other ones as we go. I think we would need those. I would say Final Fantasies would probably be a big thing because a lot of people associate Final Fantasy with PlayStation on the PS1, PS2 era. Especially PS1, I would say. What else? What am I at? That's about 3. I don't know, they're taking it seriously. Oh, and I would say like the Twisted Metal. Actually, no, I think that may have been first party. Yeah, so that's probably thrown out the first party. I would say like the sports genre from then. Now I know we're not going to get a lot of specific ones, but like the Cool Borders, the Tony Hawk, like that kind of stuff, like something from that genre. Because again, a big thing back at that time was you're going to play Tony Hawk, you're going to skateboard, snowboard. You're going to do some sort of extreme sport on those systems. They went hand in hand. And then for a fifth one, I'm not sure. So I would say those.
So here's what I can give. So if I'm going to think that they're taking premium tier seriously at launch, I need to see the following: a Tony Hawk game that is one of the first 3. Doesn't matter which one, just one of the three. Resident Evil 4, specifically 4. Okay. Metal Gear Solid 2. I want to see that. I want to see... I had another one in my head and I've lost it. I want to see... You know what? If I want to take it seriously, I want to see the original Chrono Cross on there, because I want to see that they're actually communicating with the companies like, look, we want these specific games to make the service worthwhile. And then after that, I want you to throw people a bone and throw something really rare out there. So throw out a Mega Man Legends 2.
Yeah.
Specifically not that game, but like something of that level of rarity that's like kind of unexpected. And I guess like as a bonus, if you put Symphony of the Night on there, it means that you're actually like pretty well talking with companies.
Yes.
Because honestly, like if you put most of their key games on there, that's not a big deal. Like Tomb Raider being on there doesn't tip the needle because you expect it to be there. There are a lot of things that you kind of expect that are synonymous with the consoles to be there, but like I want to see the ones that you would think are difficult to get.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm working at it. If I'm going to take it seriously, I want them to show me that they're not just going to pick like random game here, random game there. I want them to say like, hey, we're getting the hits and we're also getting the ones that you wouldn't expect us to get because of, say, licensing issues, or maybe a company's being really shitty about it right now, like anything like that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point, because that will show that they are taking it seriously, because they would have to fight for those games, or they'd have to at least negotiate or something, and it would show that they're trying.
And I mean, if you can't do any of those, then I want to see so many games that are really, really difficult to get a hold of. Then that can make me go, okay, well, at the very least, like whether it's Japanese games, whether it's, smaller like games that you wouldn't get to see a lot, like even something as simple as a Digimon world would be unexpected, which is the kind of thing that'd be like, that'd be interesting. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Either blow me away with the sheer like force of the titles, that you actually got a bunch of big names that we weren't thinking that you get all at once, or get a lot of rare ones and they'll be like, holy shit, I forgot about that game.
Yeah.
I want to read that full list and go, whoa, that's at launch? Because they're going to be, like, they say they're going to keep adding to it. I'll believe it when I see it, Sony. You haven't had a great track record of constantly adding games to stuff. PlayStation 2 and PS4 stopped dead in its track.
Yeah, it did.
But, like, if you can blow me away early, that's where the optimism comes in. And that's where I'm kind of at. Like, I think there's room, but because of the early list, I'm like, ooh, this could be rough.
Yeah.
The extra tier looks fine, but the premium's weird.
Yeah, the extra tier, I saw that, and I was like, okay, this is expected, this is good. There's a lot of pretty decent stuff on here, but yeah, the premium tier, I was like, okay. Is this the list? Is there more coming? This is okay for a starter, but like, how often are you going to be adding? If it's every month and it's substantial, okay, I'll be a little more forgiving. But of course, we don't know. We haven't been given a lot of information on this, which is probably why it's frustrating.
There's definitely work to be done.
Yeah.
But that being said, our work here is done, because that's going to end this episode. So thank you so much for checking out this episode of Cartridge and Quarters. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the talk here. And obviously, if you are able to comment, especially if you're watching the YouTube video, obviously YouTube, just search up Pixel Play Podcast. You'll find us there. Leave a comment. Like, tell us what games you're hoping to see in that premium tier, and then, the kind of things that you would want to see even to get your attention. Because again, getting this tier is not going to be cheap. So there's going to have to be a reason to do it. So with that being said, if you guys want to check us out in any other place, whether that's, various podcasts that we are on, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, all of the above. Obviously, if you can rate us there, please do so. Otherwise, share us with all your friends, whether it's video or audio. If you want to know more about us in terms of our socials, link to our Discord or email, all of that stuff, you can go to linktree/pixelplaypodcast. That is linktr.ee/pixelplaypodcast. So, with that being said, guys, one more time, thank you so much for checking out the show. We will see you next week, when, unfortunately, you're stuck with just me because somebody's going on vacation next week.
Bye.
Jerk. I'm being left alone by both my hosts. I'm taking this very personally.
Yeah, do you feel like we're both going on vacation together and just excluded you?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, even though you're going to completely two different directions. Wait, hang on. Which one are you going to? Cali or Florida?
Florida.
Okay, so you are going to. Okay, I was about to say, you're about to go like the same way, and then one just goes a little bit further out to Hawaii, you know?
Yeah, true.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching the show, guys. I'll see you next week. Wait, wrong direction. There. This jerk won't. But we'll see you on the next show. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Cheers.